Okay, number one, I have a quadratic expression. I need to factor it. I could do the whole diamond method, and do all that, but I recognize this is a difference of squares, okay? I have n squared, and 64 is a perfect square. 64 can be written as 8 squared, okay? So when I go to factor this, I have an n on both spots, and then a plus and a minus, or minus plus, doesn't matter. And I put the base of the power in there, not the 64, but the 8. Okay. So I have n plus 8 and minus 8. So it's a lot easier to factor than going through that whole, diamond method and everything. How about number 2? Okay, always with these, with any quadratic, the first thing you do is look to see if you can take out a common factor, okay? Here we can't. Okay, there's nothing that goes in the 4 and 81. I have m's here and n's here, so I can't factor anything out. But 4 is perfect square. It's 2 squared, right? And I have m squared, so my a here is going to be what? 2m. It's the base. On my second term, that's 9 squared, and I have n squared, so my b is going to be 9n. So I go back up here, look at my formula. Can't really see it, can you? Is this fuzzy? Where's my glasses? Hey, Dewey, welcome back. What? Huh? What? There we go. Takes a little while. Okay, so I'm going to do my a minus b, or a plus b, doesn't matter. Well, my a is 2m, plus, minus, my b is 9n, and 9n. You can always check your answers, by the way. Just FOIL it back out, right? 2m times 2n, 4m squared. 2m times negative 2n is negative 18m. And positive 18m, well, they zero out. That's why I don't have a middle term. And then I have 9n times negative 9n is negative 81n squared. Number 3. I have x squared, so that's perfect square. I have an x and an x, plus minus, and 81 is what? 9 squared. See how easy that is. How about, well, let's keep going. 4 is easy. How about 5? $16 is what? 4 squared. So I have 4n plus minus. 25 is what? 5 squared, right? So I have plus 5 minus 5. Uh-huh. number 6, we really should take out a common factor first. What's a common factor with 36 and 100? Remember? Remember? 36, I have 1 and 36. 2 and 18. 3 and 12. 4 and 9. And 6 and 6, right? 100. 1 and 100. 2 and 50. 3, 4 and 25. 5 and 20. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 and 10. Okay, what's my highest common factor? 2s, 4s. Could be 4, right? Okay, so I'm going to take out a 4. And I get 9x squared minus 25y squared. Okay, now I'm going to factor it. Got my 4 outside. Dewey, get off your ball. All right, 9 is what? 3 squared, so I have 3x plus and minus. 25 is 5 squared, so I have 5y. Okay, any others? Let's look at number 9. Number 9, I have how many terms? 4. So what kind of method should we use? They threw in some oddball ones here, right? 4 terms. We have a method to do 4 terms. Factor by grouping. I'm going to group. I have a minus sign, so I'm going to group that too. Okay, first set of parentheses. What can I take out of 4x4 and 8x cubed? 4x cubed, and I have just an x left over, right? 4x to the 4th divided by 4x cubed is 1x. And 8 divided by 4 is 2, and the x cubes cancel the 1. And the second grouping, I'm going to take out a negative sign. I could take out a 4 and one of the x's, right? So, negative 4x squared divided by negative 4x is a positive x. Negative 8x divided by negative 4x is positive 2. Good. So there's one of my factors. and x plus 2. Now, if you really want to make your Algebra 1 teacher happy, you can keep going, factoring on the first one, right? What can I take out of 4x cubed and 4x? Good. So I have x squared minus 1 and x plus 2. Now, you guys could stop at that one. But if you really want to be impressive, super impress your Algebra 1 teacher, maybe even like to the point where I'd say, good job. It's pretty funny. Huh? I have a difference of squares there, don't I? So I can take my 4x, have my x plus 2, x plus 1 minus 1. This is fully factored. You will be able to do that in Algebra 2. They would expect you to get that far. In this class, I'm good with that right here. Right, Dewey?
Yeah.
Dewey, get off your phone.
No.
Now. 169, by the way, 169 is 13 squared. Right?
Yep.
So you would have to take out an x. You get 169x squared minus 1. Then this is a difference of squares. So I get x. See, another student not paying attention. 13 squared, x squared, right? So I have 13x, plus and a minus, and we get 1. So always make sure that, you know, these, I wouldn't worry about the perfect square trinomials. We used to teach these formulas because in Algebra 2, there's a lot of work with perfect square trinomials. In fact, you take quadratics and make them perfect square trinomials. But it's to the point where we don't even use the formula. We just use the method and keep going. Let's not worry about these, okay? Let's just try to factor these. Well, first look for common factors and then factor them. $13. Now this is actually a pretty hard one. Okay. Because there's so many factors for 16 and for 9. So we got 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. We need to try all those. Remember, we do like the guess and check method. I usually start like in the middle. Okay. If we have the factors of 16, we have 1 and 16, 2 and 8, and 4 times 4. I always start like in the middle. I don't know why, I just think it's easier for me. So I'm going to start with 4n and 4n. The same thing with 9. I'm going to start with 3 and 3. Because the way that these problems are set up, they usually are set up with those middle factors. And let's see, that's a positive, add up to a negative, so they have to be negative. Okay, so let's try this. 4n times 3 is what? Negative 3 is negative 12n. Negative 3 times positive 4n is negative 12n. Negative 12n plus negative 12n equals negative 24n. So I'm good. I got lucky. Okay, that's my factor form. What's flying around?
There's like a big ass bug.
Is it a bug?
It's huge.
Is it a bat? We have bats in the ceiling. Huh.
It's big as hell.
There, I saw it in my reflection in my glasses. I'm like, what's flying around? I don't know.
What?
Is it? Did it come out?
No. Is it two? A what? A kid? I'll go to the bathroom.
No. You have to sit here. You have to sit here with the bugs.
Honestly, I gotta go to the bathroom after that. Is the bathroom?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dewey saved us. Huh? You say what? You say what?
He said you saved us.
You do.
Dewey's bug killer. Who would have thought? You should become an exterminator.
Yeah, so.
Too much work for you, huh?
You're scared, bro.
Some of these are really hard, guys. Watch it, Esco. There's another one flying up. It's coming out of the screen. Yeah, he ran like he was the most scared.
Let's go.
Yep. He's the exterminator.
Yeah, Dewey whacked him to death. And then chased us.
Dewey Dewey.